Fear. It is what keeps us hiding under the covers at night. The shadows on the walls, the monsters in our closets and under our beds, the scraping of long nails against the windows of our mind. Most of the time, fear is just the tricks we play on ourselves, the monsters we create when our minds are left alone with a single dark thought. Today, we enter one such creative mind, a mind plagued with fear and of anger and the sweet, delicious symphony of nightmares. Won't you join me? We are in the Rogues Gallery. I am Mr. Rouge, and this is The Binding of Isaac. From the creator of Super Meat Boy comes one of the most well-known roguelikes of the decade. Follow the macabre journey of Isaac, a naked bald boy who shoots tears at the unborn fetuses of his supposed brothers as he travels from the basement to the wound and beyond. It's gonna be a wild ride. The Binding of Isaac is a story of a young boy who thinks his mom is out to kill him after hearing a voice from on high. There are numerous theories that speculate over the true meaning of the game, garnered from the fractions of clues here and there. But in short, the story isn't that important. Considering the game's 21 different endings, 22 if you count the epilogue, it's hard to nail down the actual ending of the game, especially if Macmillan plans on adding new DLC in the future. Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus is the current iteration of this franchise. Starting as what almost looked like a Flash game, the Legend of Zelda-inspired dungeon crawler now sports a classy pixel style as well as updated game mechanics and smoother controls. Each chapter of the game has a unique and distinguishable design. The basement is very different from the caves or from the depths, and even beyond that are the various different versions of these floors. The more you play the game, the harder it inevitably gets, allowing harder bosses to appear sooner. The music for the game is atmospheric, with different themes for each floor as well as specific bosses, and they range from subtle to sinister, with titles like Diptera Sonata, Empty Vessels, and Sketches of Pain. Binding of Isaac is, in essence, a dungeon crawl. A random map is generated, filled with different rooms, enemies, and treasure chests. Traveling from one room to the other can be achieved by any number of methods, from clearing the room of monsters, using a key, or even blowing a hole in the wall with a bomb. Regardless of how you do it, the objective of each floor is simple: get to the boss and try not to die along the way. You might run into trapped or cursed rooms in the process, usually marked by a specific door, or you might find an item shop or an arcade. Hidden rooms can be found with bombs, and boss rooms are the big evil-looking ones with a skull on it, kinda hard to miss. Also, if you manage to get all the way to the boss and not take any damage and still beat them, you have a chance to spawn a devil or angel room. These rooms contain special items, or sometimes they contain boss fights, or sometimes they contain nothing at all. This game is unforgiving and chaotic. With over 500 items that can possibly be picked up at a single location, running into a dud item can drastically increase the difficulty of the game. Items can be picked up in treasure chest rooms, item shops, defeating a boss, or sometimes just by killing a random enemy. Items have two variants, active and passive. Active items can be used with the spacebar and typically have a charge meter. This meter can be refilled after use by clearing rooms, or by picking up batteries. As far as what each item does, it could be anything, from temporary invisibility with the Book of Shadows, to dropping a pile of poop on the ground with the poop. Yes, that is an actual item in the game. Passive items give a permanent, ongoing effect, and can range from bolstering your health to revealing the map layout of the current floor. However, most of the passive items have the primary function of altering your tears. Your main method of attack in this game is your tears. Hurling globs of sad water apparently does damage to the monsters that lurk in the basement. Picking up items can modify these tears, making them faster, hit harder, or become bigger. Some items give unique effects, such as dark matter causing fear on contact and making the monsters run away, or Spoonbender, which turns your tears into a homing shot. These abilities can stack, and one of the most fun features of The Binding of Isaac is to come up with powerful or crazy combinations. There are hundreds if not thousands of combinations of tier upgrades, and can range from one-shot kills to Technicolor light shows. Outside of pickup items, there are also trinkets and held items. Trinkets grant small but unique passive bonuses to your character and can range from not needing keys to open chests to making money drop more frequently. Held items includes cards, runes, and pills. Cards have a myriad of effects, from tarot cards to playing cards to credit cards. Runes are unlocked through challenges and have more of a utility purpose. And pills are randomly designated a color. Every time you play the game, they can be different and cause different effects, and unless you have the item PhD, you won't know what they do until you eat them. When you first play the game, you start out as Isaac, but the more you play the game and achieve specific conditions, you can unlock various other characters to play as, each with different starting items, health bars, and overall stats. You can also earn to play the game on a harder setting, upping the difficulty but also earning bigger rewards. Outside of the random run-of-the-mill game, there is also Greed Mode, a sort of gauntlet style with Survive the Waves of Monsters gameplay, challenges, which puts you in a specific item set that you have to deal with, and daily challenge runs for those who want to be at the top of the leaderboards. And I would be a fool if I didn't mention the modding community for this game. Take a stroll down the Steam Workshop page and you'll find dozens and dozens of mods, from new characters to new items to total gameplay overhauls. There has even been people who have made an equivalent of DLC-sized mods, taking the game and then just adding a whole new spin on the system. I believe I told a friend once before that Binding of Isaac was like baby's first roguelike. It's challenging and sometimes hard and unforgiving, but the truth is you have to keep playing to get better at it. It doesn't hold your hand. It handcuffs you to an angry bear and gives it a good kick before running away. But sometimes it'll give you a death ray and pat you on the head. With all that in mind, I give The Binding of Isaac a box of chocolates out of 10. Because as we all know,
my mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
I would like to give a special thank you to Ravenclaw Ratpack and Guillaumon 182. This video and perhaps this series would not be here if not for your wonderful support. Thank you so much.